Imagine standing on a floating court surrounded by giant ice blocks. The cold wind bites your skin. You must be careful not to fall in. That's exactly what Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic did in November 2013. They played tennis on a barge in icy waters just a few feet from the mighty Perito Moreno Glacier in Argentina. This wasn't a normal exhibition match. It was a dare. They were not there to win a trophy or earn ranking points. They were there to face nature itself. Near freezing air, ice cracking in the water, no soft grass or cushioned court beneath them. One slip and they'd fall into glacier water, where they could freeze quickly. It was crazy, but also so amazing. Many call it the most dangerous tennis match ever. Today, I'll walk you through every detail. And along the way, I'll show you other wacky tennis stunts. Roger Federer versus Andre Agassi high above Dubai. Federer versus Nadal on a floating carpet in Doha, and more. But none of those felt as risky as playing on ice. Let's begin. In November 2013, Rafael Nadal, Spain, and Novak Djokovic, Serbia, were in South America for a few fun exhibition matches and to celebrate the retirement of David Nalbandian, an Argentine tennis hero. They played in places like Lima, Santiago, Cordoba, and Buenos Aires. In Buenos Aires, more than 12,000 fans watched Nadal beat Djokovic 6-4, 7-5 in a big stadium match. After that, they did something special, a match in Patagonia, near the southern tip of Argentina at the Perito Moreno Glacier. It was part of a tourism campaign by Argentina's Ministry of Tourism to showcase their spectacular glacier ice to the world. On November 22, 2013, the players and staff arrived at El Calafate, a town near the glacier. A cargo ship named Argentino Supply was anchored floating in the lake in front of Perito Moreno Glacier. The tourism board installed a small tennis court on the ship's deck. They painted the surface, set up a net, marked the lines, making for a floating mini tennis court. It wasn't just an odd PR stunt, it was a logistical challenge. The materials had to be delivered and assembled with care. The court had to be stable, dry, and safe, or at least safe enough. The players couldn't wear jackets while playing. They had to compete in their usual tennis gear, their bodies moving in cold air thin enough to make breathing slightly heavier. The wind kept whipping from the glacier wall, sending gusts that chilled every exposed patch of skin. Nadal later described the place as one of the most spectacular places he had ever seen. Djokovic called it a fantastic experience. Although the court was small and rallies short, the danger was very real. The barge floated in icy water. Wind howled. Icebergs drifted near the deck. No room to run fast. No fallback option. One slip, and you could be in freezing water. The match started with simple serve and return. Djokovic sent returns deep. Nadal responded with heavy topspin. Every rally produced tiny splashes of glacier water. Ice chunks clinked nearby. Djokovic slid near the edge of the platform. Nadal nearly lost footing when hitting a cross-court forehand. The wind made balls curve unpredictably. Each step needed care. Footwork changed. They barely ran, just shuffled carefully. The court was so tight that rallies lasted just a few shots, but every shot carried tension. Spectators gasped each time a player approached the edge. No big scoreboard was shown in videos. No one cared. It felt symbolic. Tennis against nature. Players wearing tennis shirts but playing in a wind that could freeze mist. Ice walls rose behind them, some chunks over 60 meters tall. At the end, Nadal won the match, though the result felt secondary. The entire event was about the spectacle, the location, and the risk. Why was it dangerous? Hypothermia risk. Glacial water at any temperature below 5 degrees Celsius can freeze someone quickly. Slippery surface. Bar deck could get wet or icy. One step wrong and you slip. Rescue difficulty. Getting someone out of freezing water would be slow. Medical staff were on standby, but conditions made rescue tough. No margin for error. Edge was right there. No safe fall area. All during an exhibition meant to entertain, but still dangerous. Even with a full crew of officials and medics around, it was clear that no one wanted to test the rescue protocol. And to the players' credit, they never crossed the line into foolishness. They played carefully with respect for their setting, but the danger was never far. This wasn't the only bizarre exhibition. In Dubai, 2005, Roger Federer and Andre Agassi played on a helipad atop the Burj Al Arab Hotel as the sun set. High above the Persian Gulf, wind and height made every move risky. In Doha, 2011 to 2012, Federer and Nadal played on a court floating on water in the Arabian Sea, and another time on a carpet suspended over a market, giving the sensation of tennis in mid-air. In Mallorca, 2007, they created a battle of surfaces, half grass, half clay. Not dangerous physically, but mentally tricky. Players had to adapt instantly to changing bounce. Some other exhibitions included courts in a street in New York before Big Apple fans or charity matches in Bogota, Colombia, etc. Many were fun, some tricky to move on, but none had the physical peril of glacier waters. The glacier match had something extra, a sense of being out of time. There were no fans in the stands, no chants, no music, no commercials. Just two of the greatest players of all time, a floating court, and one of the most majestic natural wonders on Earth. Videos and photos of the glacier match spread fast. Media called it a visual spectacle. Tennis meets wilderness. The event helped put Patagonia and Perito Moreno Glacier in the spotlight as a tourist destination. Nadal tweeted that he had been in one of the most spectacular places he'd ever seen. Djokovic said it was a fantastic experience. Fans on Reddit and blogs called it more like mini tennis and a symbolic battle, human precision versus brutal environment, man versus nature. One comment said, "Players live a weird life, wearing tennis shirts while braving Patagonian wind and ice." Though short, the match was breathtaking. Tourists got amazing photos. It raised awareness for Argentina's tourism, and it raised questions. Was it too risky? Should elite athletes take such risks? The answer, for many viewers, it was worth it. For only a few minutes, they risked comfort for spectacle. After the glacier exhibit, Nadal and Djokovic flew back to Buenos Aires. They played another exhibition match at La Rural Stadium against Nalbandian and others. They also took penalty kicks at La Bombonera Soccer Stadium and joked with fans and cameras. Djokovic even mimicked Nadal's playing style mid-show, delighting the crowd. It was a week of fun celebrations, but the glacier match remained the highlight. The players and Argentine tourism board succeeded. They sold an image. Tennis played in one of the world's most dangerous yet beautiful places. Even years later, fans still view those icy footage clips with wonder. Yes, exhibitions involve fun risk, but this one combined extreme cold and ice, minimal court space, potential hazard of falling into glacier water, and very real rescue difficulty. All other exhibitions carried novelty, floating, suspended, unusual surface, but glaciers add real elements of physical danger. It wasn't about showmanship alone. It was about standing on an icy platform with real risk. That's why many call it the most dangerous tennis match ever. What did they gain? Spectacle. What did they risk? Hypothermia. Was it safe? Not completely. Was it memorable? Absolutely. Today, Nadal and Djokovic are remembered as two of the greatest tennis players ever. But in their careers, this match stands out, not for aces or Grand Slam titles. It stands out for braving nature while hitting ground strokes. In our modern world where sports are polished and scripted, this match reminds us of raw unpredictability. The players were not tested by an opponent. They were tested by ice, wind, and gravity. They stood on a floating court in front of a glacier. They served amid icebergs. They played in near-freezing air, and they did it with grace, courage, and a little madness. Even now, if you search for it, you'll find videos where the camera pulls back, showing the lonely red court floating in gray-blue water, dwarfed by the towering glacier. It looks unreal, like a dream. But it really happened. That is why even today, people watch that video with wide eyes. Because it's not just tennis, it's tennis on the edge of a glacier. If you are tired of feeling stuck in your tennis journey, training hard but not seeing real results, struggling with injuries, inconsistency, or feeling like you're not reaching your true potential, is because you're not doing what the pros do. The difference between staying where you are and playing like a pro isn't just talent, it's having the right system, mindset, and support. That's exactly why I created the Tennis Motivation Academy, for players who refuse to settle. If you're serious about leveling up, this is your shortcut. You'll get the Become a Pro Player Guide, so you train with the same structure as top athletes. Elite fitness routines, so you move faster, hit harder, and outlast your opponents. Injury prevention system, because pain shouldn't hold you back. A private community of winners, because who you surround yourself with matters. Spots are limited and doors won't stay open forever. If you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting the same results. Don't wait, take action now. The link is in the description. That's it for today. If you found this video useful, leave a like, subscribe, and share it with your tennis friends. See you in the next one.